Всем привет, я Донис, мы продолжаем проходить вампира. Какой же офигенский коврик тут.
How's your investigation going, Dr. Reed? Time is our enemy.
I have a few questions for your lordship.
All right, but be quick.
О, есть варианты всяких вопросов.
May I ask you about the mortal who attended my initiation? Mr. Aloysius Dawson.
A member of the club does not normally ask questions about other members. We trust each other mutually.
So he really is a member then?
Indeed. Only the most eminent members are allowed to attend such ceremonies. Even if I admit some of us fled during the first hours of the Great Hunt.
But Mr. Dawson is mortal. Are you not afraid he might reveal who you are? Especially to your enemies.
Aloysius Dawson is a man of his word, as are all of us. This is the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. We do not grant access to the unworthy.
То есть тут и не вампиры есть? Это интересно.
You made me swear on the blood of William Marshall during my initiation ceremony. Why was that?
Ну то, что он
William
основатель.
Marshall was the most glorious knight who ever lived. He served 5 kings, and was a living example of probity for all. And he was my maker.
Конечно, он был вампиром, ну ладно.
William Marshall was a vampire. Is this some sort of joke? Wait. Could he be my maker?
That would be joyful news, for it would mean he still walks among us. But alas, the great knight has left this world for good.
Вообще в этом есть логика. Было бы прикольно. То есть мы братья получаемся по вампирской крови.
Why is his blood so sacred to the Ascalon Club?
He was simply the greatest defender of the realm we have ever known. I fought by his side at the Battle of Preston, and he made me his progeny following the fight.
What can you tell me about the Great Hunt?
It's a major concern, and I'm convinced we'll only get a satisfactory conclusion by putting an end to the epidemic.
I have already met Geoffrey McCullum. I am certain he will persist until he has killed every last vampire.
The Guard's current successful recruitment campaign is driven by the ravenous behavior of the Skulls.
I see. So without the epidemic creating Skulls, the Guard could not convince anybody of our presence.
Exactly. Once we have put the epidemic behind us, we need only wait until the Guard grows old and weak. Time will once again become our ally.
То есть, да, интересно, для них получается восприятие времени другое. Они могут дождаться, пока поколение какой-то людей банально состарится, умрет, новое не придет. То есть мышление другое у них совсем. Это интересно.
What about the risk of a full-scale attack here? Geoffrey McCullum is a daring leader.
That is exactly why so many of our number have left the country until things improve. But not me. I founded this club. I'll die defending it.
Ну это вообще, кстати, раньше люди по-другому ко времени относились. Раньше все так вроде медленно текло. А современный мир такой быстрый. Информация мгновенно сейчас получается. Тебе что-то надо узнать. Телефон сказал там Siri или Google, окей, Google. У тебя любая информация сразу под рукой. Передвигаются сейчас люди моментально на машинах, самолетах, поездах. То есть все быстро очень идет, быстро, и из-за этого мозг по-другому работает. Я уверен, что даже физиологически человек значительно изменился, если сравнить со средними веками, как раньше люди жили. Чтобы переехать куда-то там за 100 километров это событие, а там за 1000 километров это вообще месячное путешествие. То есть изменяется мышление очень сильно.
Goodbye, Lord Redgrave.
Godspeed, Dr. Reed. We are counting on you.
Получается, со временем расстояние сокращается. Причем расстояние во всех смыслах. Значит ли это, что в будущем расстояния вообще исчезнут, что мы будем банально находиться в общем пространстве все вместе? Не знаю, пока это пугает, если честно.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. How does it feel to be this evening's centerpiece, figuratively?
I feel perfectly fine. Do I have cause for concern?
Do not be alarmed. The Ascalon Club has a tried and tested policy for choosing its initiates.
May I ask who you are, sir?
Why would you be interested?
Well, as you seem to be the only man in the room with a beating heart, you draw quite a bit of attention yourself.
Ah, vampire senses never cease to fascinate me. They dwarf those of mere mortals. I am Aloysius Dawson, by the way.
Are you a member of the club?
Yes, I am. And I have been for many years. And will be until the day I die.
Are you sick?
Personally, I consider my advancing years are a sickness in itself. My body is slowly abandoning me, Dr. Reed.
What can you tell me about it?
It's not really my place to give you such information. I am
Понятно.
Are you not afraid? You are surrounded by vampires.
Sir, it's for that very reason that I joined the club in the first place.
Is not the nature of this club a secret shared by only a privileged few?
My dear Dr. Reed, I have spent years and a fortune precisely to gather that kind of information.
So you asked for membership?
I have been a member of many clubs in many countries. But I must admit, this one is my favorite.
What can you tell me about Lord Redgrave?
I would not dare speak of our chairman without his consent.
What can...
I would not dare speak of our chairman without his consent.
Mr. Dawson, of Dawson and Dawson, the wealthiest man in England. It is a pleasure to meet such a prominent figure of London.
A withering London figurehead, to be precise.
Are you sick, Mr. Dawson? I am a doctor, you know.
My case is beyond the scope of traditional medicine. I have spent fortunes on the world's most competent doctors to arrive at that diagnostic conclusion.
I'm sorry to hear that, sir. Should I suppose that you're here in search of some form of immortality?
Absolutely not. I'm here to implement my plan to save the city I was born in, to cast out the ghastly evil that has us all on our knees.
What is the situation like in this part of town?
I am sure Lord Redgrave will enlighten you more effectively than I.
What do you know about the Guard of Priwen?
I should not say this, but I admire their commitment. This is what the nation needs right now.
But they are our enemies.
They are not mine, Dr. Reed.
Так вот.
Would you help them?
No. There is a time for such methods. But brute force will not be enough to fight this plague. We have to think differently.
Money cannot solve every problem. This mysterious epidemic is going to require more than money can buy.
You're right. Money is nothing unless one has the will to wield it. I have a plan, sir. A radical one that will save all that is essential in London.
What is your plan, then?
Quarantine and barricades are futile. What we need is a wall. A formidable, unscalable wall to isolate the deserving from the infected masses.
Где-то я это уже слышал.
But But that would segregate the rich from the poor, would it not? It would be unjust.
Our only course of action must be to save England. And to save England, we have to make sacrifices.
Are you not mistaking sacrifice for summary execution?
Why do you care? Are you not a vampire? Removed from all mortal concerns? Decisiveness is what the city needs. And it needs it now.
Кстати, это самая большая, мне кажется, проблема современности — сегрегация по богатству, так сказать. То есть все сейчас зациклились на сегрегации по половому признаку, там, не знаю, по цвету кожи. Сейчас это уже не такие проблемы. А вот сегрегация по финансовому признаку, особенно в России, это реальная проблема, которая усугубляется с каждым годом. Так, ладно, поговорить с горожанами об инфекции. Здесь больше интересных личностей нету. Это розы, да? Увядшие. Засохшие. Не, ну красиво, конечно, красиво. Ключ от подвала? Как я его сразу не нашел? Прочный ключ с биркой клуб Аскалон. Вход в подвал только для членов клуба. А, ну я ж член клуба, могу войти. А чё мне не дали? Получается, я выкрал его? Кровь так и не убрали. Это на улицу. Вспомнил, где музыка подобная была, в Макс Пейне. В первом не помню уже, во втором точно такое было. Ну и атмосфера, кстати, там близкая была. Напоминает так. Так, это у нас куда? Вот, наверное, в подвал. Утечка газа. Лампочка шуршит. Вот. Новый коллекционный предмет. Об употреблении крови в целях получения удовольствия. Члены Аскалона подчиняются строгим правилам. Мы добропорядочные граждане, а кое-кто из нас общественные деятели. Чтобы не утверждали наши враги, мы не получаем наслаждения от оргий и кровопролития. И если одного из нас застигнут за подобными аморальными действиями, то он подвергнется порицанию. Но как же кровь? Как быть с ее прямым назначением, дарить наслаждение? Можем ли мы отказаться от экстаза, который дарит нам алая амброзия? Что еще мы можем пить за здоровье наших братьев? На этот деликатный вопрос внутренние правила клуба отвечают так. Если изначальный смертный сосуд не находится в стенах клуба, то каждый может пить столько крови, сколько захочет, поделиться ей с друзьями. Пейте все, что хотите, разбирайтесь с сосудом так, как хотите, но только не в стенах клуба. Разумеется, если только я не дам специального разрешения в честь особого случая. Закон Аскалона. Лорд Редгрейв, основатель клуба. Угу. Больше тут ничего нету, к сожалению. Что зря я так радовался этому ключу. Так. Ну ладно, уходим тогда отсюда.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reed.
I think Lord Redgrave just suggested I was sired by an ancient vampire.
Ну это по-любому. Вопрос какого именно?
Women's right to vote is only the first step.
Good evening, Miss Ashbury.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed.
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Have you noticed anything unusual recently?
A few days ago, I spotted a strange house while campaigning for women's suffrage. Awful smell. No answer when I knocked.
Where is it?
It's the Mullaneys, a nice family who live in a big house near the park in the eastern part of this neighborhood.
Goodbye, Charlotte. Give my best regards to your mother when you see her.
She's been quite busy these last few nights. I suspect you may see her before me.
Есть зацепка. Отлично. Орленок. Эдмон Ристан, Дорис Флетчер, Роyal Garden Hall, Red Crown Street, Лондон, июнь-июль 17-го.
That building is under quarantine. Could this be what I'm looking for? I cannot enter.
Так, ну вот этим заданием надо заняться. Эмили пропала. Это назад надо идти. Окей, или пройтись вот так вот, прямо. Осмотримся. Ладно, сюда пока рано. Боже, какой сильный. 26 уровень. Офигеть. Хорош. О, этого сразу убил. Прекрасно. Так, тут еще ребятки. Вау. Какое место красивое. Офигеть. Наверное, сюда рано пока. Не смог удержаться. Блин, он наверх как. Блин, граната. Одежда. Листовка с предупреждением. Вест-Эндцы, объединяйтесь. Не дайте себя обмануть. Не давайте контролировать вас. Они среди нас. Они мечтают сожрать вашу душу. Вампиры существуют. Защищайте свой квартал. Это публичное заявление финансируется и распространяется мистером К. Кросли. Чтобы узнать больше, обратитесь к нему лично и посетите его в следующую открытую лекцию. Кросли, значит, да? Новый персонаж. Кстати, больной. Вау, это он, да?
Good evening, sir. May I have your attention, please?
Come on, Johnny. Don't you recognize your oldest friend?
Еще один поехавший.
Clarence Crossley.
А, или нет?
How are you? My God. So you survived the war too. So sorry I didn't recognize you at first.
I almost didn't recognize you either. War does that to men, I heard. In my case, it was true, for I witnessed the horror that lies underneath.
Я сначала подумал, что он поехавший, узнал в нас какого-то другого человека. Это реально бывший знакомый? Вот дела.
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Can you help me?
Infection is everywhere these days. But if you ever go to the park near that swanky house belonging to the Mullaneys...
Yes? What about the Mullaneys? What about their house?
Not enough noise for a big family with children. Not enough movement. Closed doors. What is going on in there? I wonder.
Ну, короче, все туда направляют. А у меня нет средств от мигрени. Блин.
When did you escape the war and return to London?
You know what's funny? I almost never think about the war. Not anymore. I'm involved in another kind of battle now.
What is this new battle?
I saw terrible things during the war. Horrors I thought I'd forget. They're here too. They're everywhere. Vampires.
I know what you mean. I haven't had much time to think about the war either since my return.
Of course. With the epidemic, I bet you've been busy as well. Forgive me, Johnny, I didn't want to sound selfish.
Clarence, why have you distributed leaflets about vampires all across the West End?
I have to warn everybody about them. They've killed thousands of people already, unnoticed thanks to the epidemic. We are all in danger here.
Vampires in London? Come on, Clarence. Who's going to believe that?
I'm not mad, Jonathan. You have to believe me. I know they are real. They're all around us, even as we speak.
Да, ты даже не представляешь, насколько близко.
Clarence, you've always been a reliable and a good friend to me. If you say you saw a vampire, then I believe you.
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you for your trust. You don't know what that means to me.
It's all right. But if you want my help, you have to explain exactly what happened.
The first time it was in Rouen. I saw an officer drink the blood of a soldier. I saw its teeth, saw it bite. It was a vampire, Johnny, and they're here too.
How is your wife, Venus?
We've spent so much time away from each other, and so many things have happened.
But you're alive. You returned in one piece and you have a family. How many soldiers can say the same?
Believe me, it's not quite that simple. Unlike you, I'm not the man I used to be.
Is everything all right at home? Surely Venus was relieved to see you return from France in one piece.
Have you forgot what people are like in this part of town, Johnny? Venus fears for our family reputation. Now her husband has become the village idiot.
Tell me what you have discovered about vampires, Clarence.
They've always been here. And if you search for long enough, you realize others know about these devils too. I'm not alone.
Have you shared your research with anybody else?
No. But I've published my leaflets all across the city, hoping that someday someone will realize I'm printing the truth.
What do you mean you're not alone? Who have you met?
The Guard of Prewin, the Brotherhood of St. Paul Stole, Ichabod Throgmorton. Those names always pop up when you dig deep enough.
Have you spoken with any of them?
No. With the quarantine, it's almost impossible to leave the West End. But as a doctor, maybe you could, Johnny.
Are you asking me to help you prove the existence of vampires, Clarence?
Yes, Johnny. Please, gather all the information you can find about vampires and bring it to me. You're the only friend I have left. I need you.
Блин, вот ситуация. Они среди нас. Надо ему все рассказать, наверное. Ну, не знаю. Но объяснить ситуацию, наверное, надо. Но объяснить ситуацию, наверное, все-таки надо. Если он настоящий друг, он все поймет.
Clarence, tell me about the vampire you saw in France.
I was enjoying my leave in Rouen. I left the bar, took a shortcut back to the barracks. I saw it in a back alley. An officer in a stained uniform, biting into a soldier's neck.
But you were drunk, weren't you? Are you sure these two men were not just kissing?
Please don't insult me, Johnny. I hid, and I saw him leave. Then I saw the body, drained of all blood. I've seen the same marks here in London since I've returned.
Did you ever see that officer again?
No. He wore the uniform of the Royal Warwickshire Regiment. I did some research, but found no trace of him. He probably stole it from a previous victim.
Я так не думаю. Скорее всего, это его форма была. Так, ну все получается. Вылечить бы его от мигрени.
You need some rest, Clarence. You should try to sleep.
Мне нужно убежище. Вот тут получается, да? Да поделать лекарств всяких. Магазин Колхуна.
It is so peaceful. I understand exactly what that poet meant the other night.
Good evening, sir. Please forgive me for disturbing you. I'm a doctor.
I never judge a man by his title, but by his attitude. And you are not disturbing me at all. I am Calhoun Russell, and I welcome you.
Well, I must admit it's good to receive a warm welcome for once. I'm Jonathan Reed.
Welcome, Dr. Reed. Welcome to my humble shop.
I may have a look at your goods, Mr. Russell.
Так, что хорошее есть? О, реально хорошее есть. Есть хорошие рукоятки и тому подобное. Пока не буду покупать, надо посмотреть будет.
Good evening, Dr.
I'm in...
Not really. Wait, now that you mention it, I don't see the McPhersons in my favorite restaurants. They love delicate meals too, you understand.
Thank you. It may be nothing, but I'll investigate anyway. Where do they live?
They have a house in the southern part of the district, somewhere north of the railway bridge. There is a courtyard, if I remember rightly.
Ну, это, по-моему, уже другая семья. Здорово.
How is the situation in this part of town?
Life is good and peaceful. We're lucky to live in such an era of progress and wonders.
Are you not concerned about the epidemic?
Oh, I'm sure the authorities would take the appropriate measure if the danger were that high.
You cannot expect the newspapers to expose the truth while the war is still raging. I can assure you that the situation here is desperate.
Well, that's news then. But I can't believe that things are that bad. Are you sure you're not exaggerating a bit? For the thrill of it?
Is it not a little too late to be trading?
On the contrary, it is the perfect hour. Believe me, my friend, it is always at night that you meet the most fascinating characters.
But what about the epidemic? The bombs and raids? And all the random violence?
Please, sir, this is London, England. We will prevail. And if a bomb must fall on my shop, then I'll be there to hear it falling.
So you prefer to work at night?
Oh, I also enjoy a sunny day like everybody else. But the night always has a certain je ne sais quoi of its own.
What can you tell me about this place?
I recently found the best steak and kidney pie in the city. I'd be glad to share the address if you want.
Finding a good restaurant? Is that really all that interests you?
Oh, I have many passions, but nothing brings me ecstasy like subtle and exquisite flavors from my teeth to my belly.
I must confess, I have quite specific tastes when it comes to nutrition.
Really? Well, I'm always happy to try new exotic meals. If you ever find an intriguing table, please share the address.
Сюрприз для одинокого лондонского гурмана. Интересно, чем это задание закончится.
Do you have any family nearby?
Not since my parents died. I'm London's lone gourmet.
London's Lone Gourmet. What a strange title.
I used that name in my early years when I was a food critic, and I kept it.
Really? But you seem to be such a pleasant and sociable fellow.
I'm afraid the real hedonist has to be sometimes. I discovered ecstasy as a solitary pleasure, but it does not mean it can't ever be shared.
Goodbye, Mr. Russell. I'm sure you'll take care of yourself.
Мне интересно это задание.
Such a long time since
Он ему
I
что,
last
кровь
went
принесет?
to the theatre.
Так, в убежище дальше. А, это здесь типа? Или нет? Так, это карантин. Ну да, это, наверное, имеется в виду как раз это место. Секундочку, это особняк Рида. Это наш фамильный особняк, получается. Во дела! Вау!
Good evening, Avery.
Mr. Jonathan, I can't believe my own eyes. Oh, it's a miracle. We all thought you were... Oh, sir, your poor sister. What a tragedy.
I know, Avery. I know about my sister's murder.
Miss Reed expected you to return to assist with the funeral, right up until the last minute. Where have you been, Mr. Jonathan? We needed you here.
How is my mother?
Not well, I'm afraid, sir. Miss Reed is very fragile since the police brought her back home.
The police? What happened?
Miss Reed was found walking in the streets. She kept saying she had spoken with her son and daughter. She's resting now.
Гипноз этот ни к чему хорошему не приводит.
Has she received appropriate medical care?
I'm taking care of Miss Reed myself. Hospitals are so overwhelmed by the epidemic that they can only accept patients infected by influenza.
Perhaps we could arrange a short trip. Somewhere sunny, like France. She has always been very fond of France. I think leaving London could do her good.
I'm afraid Miss Reed is too frail for the moment. Recently, she started going out at night without remembering it. I have to watch her carefully.
Блин, почему по ночам-то?
I'm sorry I could not be here for Mary's funeral.
Your mother was strong, sir, but your support would have been appreciated. Apart from the priest and I, no one else attended your sister's funeral.
To be present at the funeral with you both was my dearest wish, Avery. But I'm sorry, I simply could not attend.
I would not dare to question your absence, Mr. Jonathan. All I can say is that we missed you a great deal during these difficult days.
What is the situation?
For a time, the West End seemed spared by the epidemic. But the situation is...
Have you no relatives anywhere? I'll understand if you want to take a few days to see family.
Your father managed to guarantee my earnings as long as I take care of this house, sir. My sisters are dead, and I've never met my nephews. I'll stay, sir.
Tell me the truth, Avery. Do you feel forced to stay here? Would you leave this house without the arrangement made by my father?
No, sir. I have nowhere else to go. And I promised your father I'd take care of his family as long as I live.
This house is dead, Avery. There is a curse on this family. You really should consider leaving.
If only you could have been here sooner or more often. Maybe this house would not be that empty. But you're here now, sir, so my task is not over.
You have served this family extremely well, Avery. Your support during these terrible times is much appreciated.
Then I will stay. All I ask is that you take care of my own funeral if I die before the end of the epidemic. No mass grave, please, sir.
Do you really think I don't take enough care of my mother, Avery?
Yes, I do, Mr. Jonathan.
You clearly have something more to say. Speak your mind, Avery.
I know you work hard to help the sick, but what will you do once the epidemic is over?
My home is here, and I have nowhere else to go. But this house will need some improvements if I move here. Some radical changes.
That's good news. Whatever changes you have in mind, I'm sure we will find an arrangement that suits your mother also.
I'm currently investigating
Not really, except all the Macphersons' servant.
the Macphersons.
I think it's a rich house near the railway.
Понятно, про Макферсонов говорили уже.
Goodbye, Avery. Please, what...
Of course, Mr. Jonathan, but please return as soon as possible.
Не те ли это Макферсоны, которые изобрели подвеску? Так, к матери зайти. Точнее, предки тех, получается. Того Макферсона. Какой преданный мужик. Сколько оружия, ты смотри. Обалдеть. Вот она, матушка.
Mother, good evening.
Jonathan! Is it you? Where have you been, my prodigal son?
I'm right here, Mother. I'm finally home.
Yes, for this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and now found. But where is your sister? Where is Mary?
Блин.
She is gone, Mother.
I know she's gone. The question is, when will she return as you have? I miss my grandson so much. It's been days since their last visit.
Блин, жесть какая-то, так спокойно про это говорит. К сожалению, тоже поехавшие. Эх.
Why do you say Mary is visiting you, Mother? You know that's impossible.
Why should it be? Are you not standing in front of me right now? Why should it be any different with your sister?
But Mary really is dead, Mother.
Yes. And are you not dead too? Isn't your father dead? And my grandson? And my son-in-law? You're all gone. But you all still visit me from time to time.
Нормально. Кстати, болезни нет никакой.
But I'm not dead, Mother. I'm really here, talking to you, trying not to cry.
Oh, it breaks my heart to have to tell you this. But of course you're dead, my darling boy. Just look at you, as pale as my Mary.
Вообще могли бы какой-нибудь там либо ролик сделать, либо какую-то продвинутую анимацию для встречи матери с сыном. Озвучено хорошо, а вот движение, анимация, ну пустые, просто сидит и все.
Do you need anything, Mother? Can I help you?
I just want you to stay with me, Jonathan. Your room is ready. I asked Avery to make your bed.
I'll stay as long as I can, I promise. Do you need anything else?
Just one thing. Stop staring at me like that. As much as I love you, it breaks my heart to look at those empty and dead eyes.
Do you need anything, Mother? Can I help you?
I just want you to stay with me, Jonathan. Your room is ready. I asked Avery to make your bed.
I'll stay as long as I can, I promise. Do you need anything else?
Just one thing. Stop staring at me like that. As much as I love you, it breaks my heart to look at those empty and dead eyes.
Are you working on a new painting?
Not recently. I have trouble focusing on my subject and my mind quickly drifts. It's the same thing when I try to write poetry.
I recently met a talented painter with an excellent technique. I wish you two could meet. I'm sure you'd like her.
I'd be glad to meet her. What is her name? Is she famous? Is she dead too?
She's not famous, and her name is of no importance. And yes, she is also dead.
The important thing is, I hope you two get along. If she ever fancies meeting your mother, I'd be glad to welcome her into my home.
Блин, она даже не выглядит какой-то сумасшедшей, она банально как-то легко говорит про то, что он мертвый, то, что она мертва, как бы. Это прикольно даже в своем роде.
Do you think Avery is right? Do you think I should take better care of you?
I don't blame you, but you abandoned me, son. A mother should not survive her children. It's unbearable to know you're not here anymore.
I know I have failed you since I returned. I even watched you bury Mary from a distance. From now on, I will protect you. You have my word.
You don't have to apologize to me, Johnny. Do you think I did not notice how much you have changed?
Have I changed that much, Mother? Am I still your son?
You are still, and you'll always be. Despite your pale skin, your bloody eyes and that echoing sadness in your voice.
Хорошая женщина. Несмотря ни на что, принимает его все равно. Смирилась со всеми его изменениями и недостатками.
Mother, do you know what's been going on in this area?
Not really. I don't go out much due to the epidemic, and when I do, I tend to get lost.
What do you mean you get lost? I hope you don't go outside alone.
Of course not. When I go out, your father always comes with me, but he leaves me there sometimes, and I have trouble finding the way back.
Блин, жесть. Интересный отец. Это просто у нее в голове какое-то видение, или он тоже вампир?
Have you returned to Whitechapel Cemetery since Mary's funeral?
I never want to go back to that awful place. Wait. I think I went back once. And you were there too. And Mary? No, that can't be true.
Вспомнила.
It was just a bad dream, Mother.
A nightmare, yes. Mary was so angry. I walked back home alone. If that kind policeman had not called Avery from the station, I don't know what would have happened.
Tell me, Mother, how are you? All alone in this big house with only Avery to take care of you.
I'm sad most of the time. Sad that you have left me here alone. Sad that you don't tell me when you come or go.
I'm so sorry, Mother. It wasn't supposed to be like this. I was coming home. I was home. London, the Thames. And then it happened.
What happened, Johnny?
А чего? Надо рассказывать уже. Она все равно все понимает, это мать.
I was attacked, Mother. And I've not been the same since.
The important thing is that you finally returned home. I was worried, you know. You were the last member of the family of whom I had no news. Even Mary comes more often than you.
Goodbye, Mother. Try to rest now.
Goodbye, son. Please come back soon.
Ну ладно, она не в плохом состоянии.
Mary? Oh, my dear daughter. How are you tonight? How is your sweet boy?
Ну, немножко она, возможно, поехавшая, но не сильно. Ладно. Так, на этом серия заканчивается. Всем, кто смотрел, спасибо. До встречи.